Welcome to the Attract the One video series. If you are here, it means you are ready to attract in the love of your life, and I'm going to help you get there. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Nicole Moore. I am a love coach and love teacher for powerful and amazing women who want to find what I call a top 1% man, a man that is amazing on every single level, and keep him. I'm also the creator of Get and Keep Your Man, my wildly successful program to help you find the one. And in this video series, I'm going to be sharing my 7 proven steps to attract the one. And I know these work because I use them personally to attract in my dream man and husband. We met on Tinder, by the way, and my clients have used these 7 steps to draw in men that they say to me are 10 times better than ever before. This happens for every one of my clients that meets her man. What she'll say to me is, "Oh my God, Nicole, you were right. He's better than what I desired." So I'm here to help you find that man that you might not even be able to fully picture him yet because he's so out of what you think is possible, but he's entirely possible. And here's some examples. I want you to find a man who does things like flying you first class to Thailand to celebrate your anniversary by getting spa treatments. That happened to my client Natalia after she met her man. Or a man who writes you love notes and leaves them all over the house and proposes to you within 6 months, treats you like a queen, and you have the cutest baby ever with him, like that happened for my client Elizabeth. Or a man who does a 7-day juice cleanse with you just to support you, pays off some of your debt, and flies you to Iceland just because, like my client Alexis with her man. So would you like to attract in that kind of man? And how would you feel if you did? Take a moment and just imagine that with me right now. Imagine being with a man whose every single thing you wrote down on your list and more. Now, that might sound impossible from where you're standing because you might be like, Nicole, I'm in a man desert right now. There are no men whatsoever. Or, Nicole, all I'm meeting are unavailable men, men who won't commit, men who hurt me. If you're there, I get it. But here's what I want you to know. I promise you that your love life can shift dramatically. You can absolutely, from where you're standing right now, no matter what you've been through, attract in the love of your life if you follow the right steps. So, following these steps took me from a relationship with an emotionally abusive narcissist to attracting in my dream man, who's now my husband and father to my beautiful son, Luke. I used these steps in 1 year. I went through them systematically within a year to attract in my one. But the good news is, for my clients, it happens even faster for many of them. So let's get started because one thing I know is you don't have any more time to waste being single or not with the one. Step 1 to attract in one is deceptively simple, but it's actually a game changer. And that is, you decide you are going to meet the one. Step 1 is deciding you're going to meet the one. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, Nicole, I already decided. That's why I'm here. But what I've found in personally working with more than 500 women over the past 5 years and teaching, thousands, is that there's a very, very, very big difference, huge, between saying you want love and actually deciding you will have it. For example, it's like my client Alexis. She thought she was ready for love. She'd been single for so long. We got on the phone and she said, Nicole, I'm ready for love. And she really wanted to do my Get and Keep Your Man program, but she was barely getting by in her business at the time. And she thought she didn't have the money to invest. There were like a million reasons why she couldn't actually say yes to love. And she didn't at that time. Fast forward 2 years after that initial conversation, we're on the phone again. But nothing had changed in her love life or her business. In fact, it was even worse. But what changed was this time she was ready. Her energy wasn't, I really, really, really want it. It was, I've decided I'm going after the love of my life no matter what. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to invest. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to make myself into the woman who's a match for my man. Can you feel the difference between I really want it and I've firmly, no matter what, no holding back, decided? When you firmly decide, that's when the energy opens up for you to attract your man. So it's like you finally get on the path to him. Before you decide, you think you're moving towards him, but really you're dating around and around and around, and you're just going on detours. So Alexis decided it was her time. She joined my program so I could teach her how to attract the one, and she met her man within 2 months of following the steps. So can you see the difference? 2 years prior, I'm ready. But then 2 years go by and nothing changes, even though she said to herself and to others she was ready. But when she decided, that put her on the path. And then she met him within 2 months. So this is what I mean by your love life can shift dramatically when you follow the right steps. And now she's married to her man and they're totally happy and her business is booming. So to decide means there's no other option. It's not maybe I'll meet him or one day, hopefully, or even I wish for it to happen. Deciding you will meet the one is when you finally get to that place of being truly, truly, truly done with being single. You cannot stand going another year without having the one. You look into the year before you and it's like everything in your body says there is no way I'm not having the one. So this happened for me. Actually, I've had my love coaching business for years, and there was a period of time where I was single as a love coach, and I was helping clients get engaged. And one of my clients got engaged, and she said, I want you to officiate my wedding. And at that moment, everything in me was done. Okay, picture me helping lots of other women get engaged, and I was single at the time, but it created this energy within me of there is no way in hell I am going to my client's wedding not with my man. Before it was I wanted. At that moment it became I've decided. And sure enough, I met him shortly thereafter. So have you decided you're done being single? If yes, I want you to declare you're going to meet the one. So here's what we're going to do. This is step 1. You're going to declare it out loud. The definition of a declaration is a formal announcement of the beginning of a state or condition. So when you declare, I am meeting the one, you're saying to yourself and the universe, I'm ready. I'm declaring that my state of being single is ending, and I'm entering into the state of being with the one. So declare it out loud with me now. I declare I am going to be with the one, the love of my life, within the next year. Then write this down to seal in the energy. Then share your declaration with 5 friends. Put it out there, blast it on social media, decide. That's step 1. Now, when you firmly decided you'll meet the one, you've planted your feet on the path. Here is the next step, step 2. It's raising your standards. So a huge reason why women don't bring in the one is because they actually don't believe that they can have the man they really want, or they don't feel deserving of him. They've settled for so long or they've never met a man who meets their standards or the picture they have in their mind. So they begin to believe maybe the kind of man I want doesn't exist. See, when you don't think that what you want is possible, when you really don't think it's possible, what you will do, and every woman does this, is you'll date the men that seem like a close second. And you'll stay with them because you don't believe there's something better. So you have to raise your standards as the first step to getting that something better. So step 2 is really fun. It's writing what I call an I deserve and expect list. So get out a pen and paper or a document on your computer and write down in sentences everything you deserve and expect from your ideal man. So how do you want to be treated? How do you want him to show up for you? The sky is the limit, so write down every single one of your heart's desires. For example, on my I deserve and expect list, I got really down to the nitty gritty and I wrote, I deserve and expect a man who is a team player. When I cook, he'll offer to do the dishes. And that's exactly what I got. My husband, Mike, is such a team player. And he offers to do the dishes every single time. In fact, I honestly don't even know how to operate the dishwasher in my new home. And not only that, every single time I cook, he thanks me. So when you write your I deserve and expect list, I want you to be thinking about like everything you want to experience with your man, really nitty gritty. How do you want to be treated by him? What is your vision? Every single thing you deserve and expect. Now here's the key. Writing this list down feels really fun, but there's a gap between you attracting that kind of man, because if there wasn't, you would have him now. So what I want you to do is, with every single one of those qualities, go down and look and ask yourself, am I currently showing up this way? Am I currently embodying this quality? Do I currently feel worthy of receiving this? So for each quality that you're not embodying or feeling worthy of, I want you to circle that one. For example, you might say, I deserve and expect a man who treats me like a queen. Most women want that, right? But currently you might be having horrible self-care, always putting yourself last, and not really feeling worthy of a man who treats you really well. So then you wouldn't be a match for that kind of man. So there's a big difference, again, between saying you're ready for the one and deciding you're ready. There's a big difference between saying, I want a man to treat me this way, and I'm raising my standards, and actually being the kind of woman who can receive that kind of man. So for every quality you've circled, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm really not bringing this. I'm really not feeling worthy of this. That's showing you what your gaps are to attract your one. For example, my client Natalia, she wanted a visionary man. She wanted a businessman, international, traveled, worldly, family man, a real top 1% man. But she was not meeting those kind of men, and she wasn't meeting men who pursued, and it was just like starting to make her believe that what she wanted was impossible. But I showed her how to raise her standards, and she actually started feeling like the prize. She felt very worthy of that kind of man. She actually believed she was the one who was a match for that top 1% man. And because she got there, she attracted in an incredible man. He is a businessman. He is worldly. He's also a family man. You know, she attracted in that man who she was starting to believe wasn't really possible for her. And he was, but she had to become the match for him. And when she did, he came in, he committed. As I mentioned, he flew her first class to Thailand, and that's just one of the many ways he treats her really well. So your I deserve and expect list, that is going to show you what you really want, but it's also going to show you what your gaps are to draw in the one. So the point of step 2 is to show you what needs to shift within you to become the woman who's a match. So attracting in the one is about aligning with the one. What that means is you becoming a match for the very, 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 very specific man that you want. So step 1 and step 2 are very, very powerful. But in steps 3 to 7, that's where you make the real difference to attract in the one. And I can't wait to share the rest of these steps with you in this video series. I'll see you in video 2.